Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on our webinar from HyperIntelligent to Hyperproductive, which CRMT is hosting together with our partner, MicroStrategy. This webinar will be approximately 45 minutes long, and at the end there will be time for Q&A. To perhaps answer your first question, yes, you will receive the access to the recording of this webinar via email approximately next week. About the agenda, first, Slavko Kastelic, the co-founder and partner of CRMT, will talk about the decision-making process, industry-specific use cases, and success stories. Afterwards, our senior BI consultant, Vit Podobnik, will show how this technology works in practice. For any questions, please use the Q&A chat box. We will answer some of your questions live at the end of the webinar, and the rest we will respond to you via email. Now I'm inviting you all to tune in and find out how, by injecting intelligence into everyday applications, you can not only make your employees hyper intelligent, but also hyper productive. Slavko, the microphone is yours.
Vesna, thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. As soon as we start, so basically, we will start with some key figures about the company. So incorporated in 2005, started with data management solutions, where was data warehousing, business intelligence, data integration, and then at corporate performance management in 2010, which is tightly related to data management solutions. After that, in 2011, we started with regulatory reporting, especially for banking and insurance companies. And last year, we started also with robotic process automation, which is quite new and quite interesting stuff. We are doing that solutions. So basically, we implement these solutions practically on all major commercial technologies, but representing best of breed technologies in our region, where MicroStrategy is one of the most important one. And today we will focus and introduce HyperIntelligence as part of MicroStrategy analytics platform, which is, in our opinion, and also opinion of some analysts, worldwide analysts, as the most disruptive technology on BI market in last years. But let us see first some challenges in the companies and the corporations. First challenge is fragmentation of everything practically, fragmentation of processes, then fragmentation of applications that are supporting that processes, and below that, the fragmentation of data, which is called, let's say, mass data fragmentation. And according to the survey of Cisco a few years ago, typical company has around 900 information systems, on-premise, in cloud, and so on. If you are asking CIO, then he will claim that they have only 40 applications, but when they started counting, they found out a lot more. I spoke with one of the pharmaceutical companies last year, and they counted 4,200 applications, so basically to run the business. The reason why the people or employees are, this is the basic reason why people and employees need to switch between applications, and it's more than 10 times an hour. People are losing a lot of time of that from switching applications, and it means a lot of time during the year. So mainly this is more than complete, let's say, vacation that you have per year. Why? So basically, these processes are now this let's say trajectory is now even increasing. So with more and more web applications that are covering just one or two steps in the process, this problem is just becoming more and more important. So we have fragmented processes, applications, and we have data silos. And for that reason, we have multiple data entries, delays on let's say on decisions, productivity is lower, customers are not satisfied, and we have as a company more and more problems with integration of these applications. So the second challenge, which came out, let's say last month, and we see the report from the various financial report from the last week, almost all industries are really hardly affected, and practically nobody can predict what will happen in the near or long term. So we can expect that later reports will just bring us even worse results. So we need to cope with those two reasons. So basically, it was previously was challenging, but now in this recession, it's much more challenging as well. So how to do that? mainly there are different strategies, crisis strategies. Each of those big, let's say, consulting companies has its own strategy. It's practically divided in three different areas. So first of all, how to respond on the crisis, how to recover, and how to grow the business. And we will see what are the, let's say, from the data perspective, what are the main goals. So in the response phase, we need to fine-tune the data. Data should be as much as possible reliable. We need to decide fast and have a good responses to that. Then we have a second phase. So basically, to recover, we need to optimize and modernize the data infrastructure, and then we need to invest in the third phase, when we find out what would be the business of ours, how to focus and focus. We need to focus on speed, performance, and how to scale our business. So in all three phases, so basically, it's very important that we get the most out of our data. And really, also basically, last several years, we spoke about data-driven companies, but it's critical now, and we need to manage and run the companies, let's say, some kind of surgical precision. And as Andrew Wolfsheim told in 2009, when the financial crisis came out, never waste a good crisis to improve the processes, to improve the business, to digitalize ourselves, and to find new opportunities, let's say, like some kind of new opportunities and new moves where to go, like some kind of chess master, which was presented, let's say, if we are going through decisions, we found out that strategic decisions were once made once a year or maybe half a year. We need to change or adapt our strategies practically daily. So even those strategic decisions are becoming operational ones. So basically, we need to react in real time, like chess masters. So they also have, I don't know, half an hour, 5 hours. So basically, they have limited time for the complete game, and usually, if they're picking the right move, it should be the strong one that they would like to win. And then usually there are a lot of bad or let's say weak moves, and just one or two strong moves to forward. And with that, we will see that our conventional applications, let's say, as we see at the beginning, they are divided. We are using Excel, Outlook, Salesforce, let's say Workday as a ERP system, Slack systems, CRM system, dashboards like BI platforms, and websites. Practically, if you ask yourself how many applications do you use in your work during the workday, you will see that they are not. This is not a complete set of applications that you are using. but if you see that if you need to switch from one applications to another, and then you need to find the right answer to your question, then you probably lose a lot more than an hour a day seeking for the right information to make the right decision. So on top of that, applications, all our decisions can be just weak and slow. And how we can address that. And so basically 97% of real-time decisions are based on practically on untrusted late data and on incomplete information. We can address that with different solutions. So basically depends where the needs are. We can use, let's say, data integration, data moving, so basically application integration, and on where we will decide and where we will focus today is to integrate the data on the interface level. So basically we would like to inject the intelligence on every application that we are using, that we can shorten the decision cycle, that we can rely on trusted data, and to make better decision on top of that. For that reason, we will use some kind of intelligent enterprise map, which is produced by MicroStrategy. And from that map, we will focus just on part of that. So basically on the HyperIntelligence, and we will see, because a lot of participants today are from the business side, we will practically skip all the technical details, and we will focus just on the result set of and how can we use those applications. So HyperIntelligence is, as we said, is a part of analytical platform, and what can we do with that? So basically, we can add or inject intelligence on every application which run on web, so basically in Chrome or Edge browser. It can run also on top of the CRM, ERP, and human resource systems. We can also make calendars and other productivity tools much smarter. It can also it also includes some kind of actions inside. So basically that what we are doing. So basically when we found out some kind of information that needs some our reaction, we can do it by one click. And since MicroStrategy can integrate with more than 200, let's say, data sources, we can rely on trusted information. So we don't need to move information from one system to another, but we can connect directly to those data sources. We will see now. So basically, I will show you a short video how organizations or companies are using this HyperCard. From last year when it was introduced, there are more than 200 companies already implementing HyperIntelligence, and it is the data from the January. I suppose that this is much more now, and I would use here Sonic Automotive as an example how to use the HyperIntelligence. The guys are dealing used premium cars in US, so they are buying and selling premium cars. They're usually participating in auctions, and they need to put a bid on the car quickly, otherwise somebody else will take over. But they need also to be very careful which cars they would like to buy and which cars they don't like to buy, based on mileage, accidents, age of car, and price. So let us see how they are looking for. Maybe just some short note, since it's uploading, the video on this conference, it might be not be so smooth as it should be. So, but later on, when we will get the presentation, you can see it.
Before, I looked at MicroStrategy as this really helps me enable the business, right? Now I'm looking at it and going, this really helps me increase revenue. Right before, I think it's 1st of December. And that was the first time we all got to see HyperIntelligence. And I'll never forget the reaction of the crowd. We're going, there's no way. I mean, how do you have a hyperlink under a website that's not yours and can pull the entire options, whether to buy it, what it's worth on someone else's website? I mean, this is like magic.
Having fast analytics and analytics at their fingertips during a live auction is extremely crucial. They have probably 30 seconds to be able to know if they want to buy a vehicle, what they want to buy the vehicle for, and how many we need, and in which market.
We have large growth plans that we wanted to achieve. We needed to find a good solution that can help us scale and grow and be more efficient at doing it.
We had reached the breaking point where our capacity to run the business was being greatly hindered by our technological capabilities. The solution to this is MicroStrategy.
Showing a massive data set to somebody in an Excel spreadsheet is just old-fashioned these days. When I can show it to them in a HyperCard, it's so simple to use, and present it in a tool that they're already familiar with. They're already going to these websites, they already know these things. We don't have to build anything new. We're just giving them additional data and additional analytics for them to be able to do their job better.
By bringing in HyperIntelligence and HyperCards, the collaboration just gets better, and it's actually more excitement because they're going, wait a minute, now I'm doing this in 10 seconds when it took me 4 minutes before.
So as you see, the Sonic Automotive came from, I don't know, 4 screens to one window now, and decrease the time to make a decision from minutes to seconds, and it's really make a huge impact also on their bottom line as well. Now we will continue with different use cases from different applications. So what can we do? So basically we can inject intelligence in emails. When somebody will send you a mail to increase the discount, let's say, we can see how much revenue do we get from this company, what was the latest price for the product, and so on. Immediately on the right side, then we can also inject this intelligence on different websites. So basically here we have Amazon. And if we have also our own web shop, then we can compare our price to their price, see what is our inventory, what's the percentage of our sales plan, let's say, for this product, and what is average purchasing price. And if our price is higher than, let's say, on Amazon, which is a reference point for everybody practically, we can adjust our price to be competitive to the competitor. So basically it's not need that it's just Amazon, but you have in different industries. So basically you have different competitors. So basically you can adjust prices to your needs. Then we can improve also CRM systems. Here is one example of Salesforce, where we can see also open opportunities for the company, win-loss ratio, margin, and sales costs for the particular customer. Then we can also make our calendars on smartphones smarter. So when you are going to the meeting, you can easily see what before the meeting, what company is this, what is the revenue of the company, what is the margin trend for the last years, do we have any late payments from them, and so on. and also some kind of information, what can we sell to those guys, so basically possible cross-selling products and so on. It depends on those HyperCards that you are creating for the particular customer. We can also search on the phone, so basically we can, if we have different HyperCards, we can practically cover the complete company, with this HyperIntelligence. So basically, you just start typing and find out if the application has a particular relevant card, and because if card is just around particular topic, you will easily find out what's possible and what's not. And that's it. So practically every aspect of your company, just put it in your pocket. HyperIntelligence practically can upgrade all applications. So all applications nowadays has some kind of intelligence already integrated in the system, but there's still lack of complete information. It's similar with the BI platforms. So basically the BI platforms are also intelligent, but they do not have the complete information. With HyperIntelligence, you saw that because it's just on top of every application, we can add information that is missing. And that means that with HyperIntelligence, we can do a lot more. So instead of spending a lot of money to integrate the data somewhere else and then put all this information in some other system, we can just add with a small fraction of the amount this intelligence to all existing applications. So basically the solution is not invasive, but it's just adding additional knowledge to the applications. So we saw now that we can improve, and we can improve the information from each application. So what we can also do with these HyperCards is that we can do those things that we should do faster. On each card, we can put some kind of buttons to link to applications that can then run the particular action that we need to do. So basically, whether we would like to increase the stock on the somewhere, then we would like to order some things that we can increase the price or decrease the price of the product on the web shop and so on. And the people that are using this application, they don't even need to know how the applications are working. So they are just put on the right place in the application and just do the action that they need to do. A special functionality is called HyperVision. So we need to we can find out on the, let's say, long list of, let's say here, this is example of employees, what we should do. So there are some people that need to be reviewed, so that and they are colored with the green here, with the green subject. Then there are some people that we need to promote. So basically, of hundreds of people that are maybe good workers and so on, and they need to be promoted. We cannot find it easily in the system, so the system can do that for ourselves. There are some people that can need to be coached, and there are some people that need to be transferred. So basically, in this case, we have 4 different cards for different types of actions that we need to do, and it's just colored with the underscored from the system. So yeah, and we can do that for everything practically in the company, not just for the employees, but also, as we saw already before, for every different aspect of the company: customers, vendors, products, cases, brands, then let's say patients, machines, everything that is important for our company. And everything is based on the trusted information. So MicroStrategy as a platform, so basically an analytical platform, can access data from more than 200 different systems, and if you are connect all this stuff together, so basically we can access data from different systems, analyze the data, create some kind of, let's say, buttons that are run some actions. After that, we can also do this action in very, very short time. So HyperIntelligence can give us insights and also propose us next best action for such data that we get from the analytical system. It's trusted because it's also centralized. So basically, nobody that can, only people that have access to the system and have right privileges can can see the data. So if there is a manager, then he can see practically all the data, and if it's somebody who has not privileges, that can see just a partial data. Everything is centralized, so basically we won't go much deeper here, but there is a strict rules how to access the data on row level, column level, or functional level in MicroStrategy. So what we can see now, so what we saw is that we practically don't need any click to find the information out. So basically we call it zero-click intelligence. And with just one click, we can make an action to the data that we get out. With that, so we are finished with this kind of presentation here. I would just like to announce what we'll get in next part of the presentation, that we can deploy cards very fast. So basically, it's probably your question. So we can connect the data, we build the card, and then we just manage access and deploy. And this will be presented by my colleague Vit. After that, I would just like to wrap up everything. So challenges that we have are fragmentations, and also this exit strategy, how to run the business. We would need really good information and precise information fast. We need to strong moves. So basically we need to find out from all possible moves the strongest one, and we need those information that we get from the system should be trusted, and decisions are also then good ones. Solution here, which was presented, was MicroStrategy HyperIntelligence, that can deliver these insights and also allow us actions in seconds practically. And with this tool, practically everybody is smarter and faster with their decisions. CRMT can help you with implementation and support of that. I would just like to mention here some things that are maybe interesting for you also. MicroStrategy has extended this free training and certification until May 15. You can reach all this information and also other information in demo library. And since we are just focusing here today on HyperIntelligence, we would present more broader picture of MicroStrategy. So basically all the components, more technical webinar somewhere in the second half of the June. With that, I would like to bring back our moderator and let Vit to present how the things are running in the real life and how easy it's to create some kind of hyperintelligence card. Thank you for your patience, and Vesna, please.
Hi, Slavko. Yeah, thank you for your great presentation. As you have announced already, it's time for our senior BI consultant, Vit Podobnik, to show in practice how the HyperCards are made and how to use them. Vit, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Vesna. Hi, so I will show you how to create a simple HyperCard with our employee data, which will help me and my colleagues with everyday decision by having right information at the right place. I will go through process of importing and also cleaning data, since our data set will be an Excel file. Then I will create a HyperCard. In the process, we will add basic elements on the card, and I will show you a few tips and tricks as well. After that, we will of course test newly created cards. I will also show you some security settings, as Slavko mentioned that there are a couple of options there. So if we want to create a HyperCard, we will first need a MicroStrategy Workstation program. Just a second. Okay. Because of the demo effect, I have everything recorded, so it's not live, but I will tell live everything, of course. So MicroStrategy Workstation is just a powerful tool for administrators and power users that lets you administrate and control projects and providing tools for data discovery and visualization. One of those tools are also MicroStrategy HyperCards. First, we need a data source for our card. There are a few existing data sets here in my project, but none of them have the data which we need to build our card for employee data. So we will create a new one. At importing data, we have a large pool of options for data sources, from classical Excel file to more than 200 connectors to different databases, social media, Google Analytics, e-commerce, and so on. You can also add a custom data source as well. But today we will stick to the classic importing Excel file. First thing is, we need to prepare the data. Okay, so this is our data. It has only 11 rows, so 11 employees. We have data for name and surname, title, phone number, email, number of sick days, leave days, and so on. Classic thing for employees. I will just pause it here for a minute and explain what are those green and yellow icons here. So most of you that are in the BI world maybe know these definitions, but so green icons are attributes. Simplest definition for an attribute is that it provides a context for a matrix. So attributes are descriptive objects. Yellow icons are metrics. Metric is a figure that is directly measurable, and it can also be a combination of multiple figures. So it's a numeric data which can be somehow calculated or aggregated. Usually we skip this step for preparing data, since MicroStrategy can detect automatically what are attributes and metrics. But in this case, since we are building a data source for HyperCard, we need to define main attribute for our HyperCard. This means we need to do so-called multi-form attribute. I will do that just by multi-select columns and combine them in one attribute. Simple, right? Okay, just right click it and I will edit all the forms. I will just name it employee. It's important that the naming is consistent because we cannot rename object in the card creation window. I'll just uppercase it. Next step is to clean data. I'll do that with the help of a function named wrangle. This function allows you to explore your data to evaluate its quality and usability. You can prepare your data to improve its quality before you import it into MicroStrategy. Let's say, for example, you can remove your white spaces, filter your data, delete duplicate rows and cells, find and replace data, and so on. I have 3 fixes here to do. First thing is that I would like to have name and surname in sentence case, since the surname is in lowercase. Just I have to find the function. There is the title case, 1 click and done. I will also remove any white spaces. Okay. I will also remove abbreviation DI. I will rename it to data integration. I can do that only once in 1 row. So in this case, 1 change for 2 row fix. It's even more awesome when you do this for 2000 rows with 1 click. So, okay, we're done with cleaning. Before we can import data, we can remove few redundant columns. Yeah, we don't need leave in use percentage as well. Now we have to change the data type for the picture. You'll see later why. Otherwise, we won't see any picture. Okay, we can save it. And by the way, I can refresh the data set with the new data anytime I want. It's not fixed. If I would be connected to database, I would see live data. So next step is to create a new HyperCard. I will select our new data set as a source. Okay, just pause it for a second here. So this is our working window for HyperCard. It's pretty basic. On the left side, we have our attributes and metrics, and then on the right side, we can format the card. First thing that I usually do is select a template, which I will later format it as well. So nothing is fixed, it is just a template. Then I can select my header type. So I need pictures and a few more rows. We will need our multi-form attribute here. So I can add the attribute to the header just by drag and dropping to the card. Everything on card, so on HyperCard, works this way. So just drag and drop. So drag and drop employee into the header. Nice. But I don't need employee ID and select link here. So I will just remove it. I will keep this row visualization, which is below header, and add some basic employee info from our attributes. Okay. We can also delete redundant rows We don't need so many, so the last two I will delete. I will add a pie chart here for employee utilization percentage. We only need one pie chart, so the second one won't appear on the actual card. You'll see later. Then I will add a new metrics visualization on the card. Again, just drag and drop whenever I want the visualization. Since I need a few more fields for my data, I can quickly add them. We will need 4 squares and 1 row. Again, just drag and drop the objects. And the important thing is that I can use one object just once on the card. So if I want to duplicate something, I need to duplicate it as well in the data source. Okay, then I think I'll add another matrix visualization. This time just 2 fields. I will add information of leave of absence here. Okay, that's fine. So this is a footer of the card. I could add some descriptive attribute, or I could just add some text. But in this case, I will just remove it from my card. Okay, and now I'm adding information for my support tickets, and as well as text box visualization, just for a headline purpose. Yeah, I need 3 fields here. Now our card is getting some shape already. We can also add some links in header. We have a partial Slack link, and some static dashboard link. Icons and text are optional. So my first part of the Slack link is static, and the second part I will combine it from attribute. Copy paste. Okay, and this part is from attribute. I will add also dashboard link. So dashboard link is statical and won't be sourced from any attribute, just a link. For demo purpose, this is okay. Otherwise, you would have your own dashboard here. Okay, so at this point, we just need to do a few more formatting steps. And we're almost done. So I can make squares bigger or smaller. Also change the color. Add the green pie chart here. Okay, and I think I will have blue header. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so at the beginning, I also promised some tips and tricks. So one of them is that we can add some icons next to the numbers. It's a simple thing, just to copy paste an emoji or a picture a small picture from the web, and I can add them. So the HyperCard isn't boring so much. I can also add some if statement. So the hours entry in our register system, I will add a rule. So 40 or more is okay, everything less is not okay. And when I will use HyperCards, I will get different icons. So in this case, it's okay because it's 42. Now I will save the card. But before we do the test, it's recommended to add also alternate keywords. Now, our only primary keyword right now is name and surname. Alternative search keywords are sourced from attributes, and this attribute must be included in multi-form attribute. In our case, this is in employee. So we'll just add the email information as well. So HyperCard will pop up if you will have either email or name and surname, the combination. The next step is to assign this user, so me, to the HyperCard. Otherwise, I will not see it. Okay, let's switch. Like Slavko mentioned already, HyperCards are working only in Google Chrome and Edge so far. I'm using Chrome right now, and firstly, we need to add HyperIntelligence add-on. Okay, it's available in Google Chrome Web Store. After installation, icon will appear in right upper corner. So now in my inbox, I have an email from my colleague, and he's asking me if he can go to location for 2 days and if I can confirm the leave. Well, okay, but I would, but since I know he's on leave quite often, I have no idea if he has any left. Usually I would ask my other coworker and she would then check our spreadsheets and so on. I'm taking her time and my time just to confirm a leave. Since I would like an answer now, I will just use newly created HyperCard. I will log in. I already have configured just added an IP. But where's my card? Well, I forgot to certify it. It's important to user that they see only checked out data. Administrator, on the other hand, can of course see all the cards. So my colleague still has 12 days of leave in his account, and he doesn't have any active urgent support ticket. So I will logically reply that it's okay to go and have fun. Well, that was quick, right? What about LinkedIn? Like another web page? Well, something's not working. Let's refresh it, still nothing. Let's check the HyperCard settings. I turned on a filter not to show my HyperCards on this site. Let's turn it on, and it's working. I can turn off HyperCard functionality on any page, not just one. I can have multiple filters. I forgot to test links and headers. Okay, Slack is working. What about our dashboard? It's just a MicroStrategy demo dashboard. I linked it just for demo purpose. Let's see it. I could link my own dashboard, which could be made in any BI tool with a lot of more employee data, the actual data. Yeah, working fine. So what about security? Well, we saw my username has access to HyperCards. We saw that I signed my username, since I'm an administrator, of course, my username to a specific HyperCard. But I can go deeper and set security on data layer. You can set security in column and even on row level. With help of a filter, I will set that my username can see data just for 6 of my colleagues. And this is called column level data filter. It's just a filter. Just mark a few of them. I won't add our CEO, Matej, so we can test on this case. So no mark there. Let's save it. Okay. I will also refresh my card, just in case. Okay. Now let's see if it's working. I will just search for Matej and nothing should appear, so no HyperCards for him. Nope. How about our marketing specialist, Vesna? Yeah, I can see her data, but not much. Let's turn on marketing cards as well. I already created them. We just need certify it and turn them on in our browser. Yeah, certified. There they are. So pay attention on a card color and underline color. So Vesna has 2 colors, blue and green. Color is picked from our card header. So the one that we built was blue. The one that I built before, it's green. So this is very useful also for thresholding. So it's something bad or good or okay, we have some data here as well. Much more suitable than the rest of the company since she isn't in support and stuff. So can we all agree that building a HyperCard is easy and even fun? Well, I think yes. Thank you for attention. Now we can move to the Q&A part. Vesna?
Yes, thank you, Vid. If you can just hold your slide for just a second and to answer your question, absolutely, it looks really easy and super fun creating the HyperCard. Thank you so much for your presentation. We will now move to the Q&A. To the Q&A part. Thank you all for submitting your questions. We have already received a few of them, and we will now start answering them. I would like to ask Slavko to begin with replying.
Yeah, hello again. So I'm also impressed with the vid, so I didn't know everything. So but we just picked some questions from your list. Since Vid was on the presentation, he wasn't able to prepare the answers. We will give you the answers later on. I will just pick those. I just picked those ones that that I can answer. So there are some questions regarding whether Power BI, Click, and so on can also be upgraded and injected from the HyperIntelligence and MicroStrategy. And the answer is yes. So basically, Tableau, Click, and Power BI are those BI platforms that you can run HyperIntelligence on top of it. And even the MicroStrategy itself is the platform that you can use for HyperIntelligence. So you can inject additional information on practically every BI report. That's one of the questions. The second one is, can we test the demo version for free? Yes, sure. Just please contact us and we will set up a demo version and then of the MicroStrategy, and we can also help you to speed up this process since it's quite important that you will not lose in the in this implementation. One of the question is, how quickly can we integrate existing systems into HyperCard? You saw that it's very easy practically. So, but I would also add that depends on data sources and depends on your processes. Usually we need to analyze your process, how you are working now. As you saw in Sonic Automotive, there's practically a lot of information exchange, how to optimize the process to gain the most, let's say, either time or value from this process. So we need to, first of all, analyze your process and also to analyze your data sources. And yes, if you have everything in place, then it's a matter of days, not weeks. There's one question which said, okay, we have an online shop. Can we boost online sales? So basically, we cannot say that we can boost your online sales, but you can use HyperIntelligence to be more aware of the competition. As we saw already in the Sonic Automotive and also from this Amazon example in the presentation, you can use every website to also and add your information from your existing systems, adding, let's say, also AI, so basically artificial intelligence on ML on top of that with this information, and find out how to be more competitive. So that's the idea. Since there are some questions, so basically there are around 15 questions, but I think that we already passed all our time. So I would like to be in touch with us, and we will send you all other replies for the questions later on in email. We will also send you a link to the webinar and also send you the presentation, I suppose. I would like to just to close that, Vesna, because it's almost an hour from the beginning, and that.
Yes, Slavko, thank you so much. I'll be short. And yes, participants will receive, of course, the recorded webinar, most probably by next week. Thank you again to Slavko, to you and Vid for the presentation, and everyone listening to our webinar from HyperIntelligent to Hyperproductive, which CRMT hosted together with our partner MicroStrategy. We hope you learned something new and are ready to say goodbye to the gut decision making and say hello to HyperIntelligence. For more information, feel free to send us an email at info@crmt.com to any of the contacts that you see on your screen, to Slavko or Vid, and also follow us on our social networks, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, or visit our website, crmt.com, for updates and news. And one more time, the MicroStrategy trainings and certifications are free until the 15th of May, so make sure to grab this opportunity. Also, next webinar that might be of interest to you will be about the MicroStrategy 2020, Trusted Insights to Every Employee When and Where It Matters. We are planning to host it in the second half of June, and you can expect our kind invitation in your mailbox soon. And one more time, you will of course receive the recording of this webinar by email. You will receive the access. And this is all from our side. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy your short week and bye-bye.